Ayo guys, welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. Now, I know I said that I would wait until Wednesday to continue this, but here's the thing. I became increasingly curious about whether or not this game changes from the original storyline. And, it's just kind of been irking at me since last night, and it's like, there has to be more to it than just a simple remake. So, there you go. A little smudge on the camera. So, I'm moving my stream ahead a little bit. I want to play it again tonight to see if anything changes at all. Or if this is just a simple remake with just a few little notches and turns into it. So, we're going to jump into it here. Last we left off, I had just written a, once again, subpar, mediocre, just throw a bunch of words together poem for Sayori, because I'm trying to do the Sayori right here. Alright, so. I'll start with Monica. I should start with Monica. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort.
Hi, Flam. Hope you've been enjoying your time here.
Yeah, definitely. I probably sound like a broken record by now, but everyone's been really welcoming.
Well,
oh, there's her lean. I knew that lean would come eventually.
Well, a broken record isn't so bad when it plays something so nice.
I guess so.
Anyway, since you're new and everything, feel free to bring up any questions or concerns you might have. It's my duty as president to make sure that everything is perfect.
I'd have to say that you've been doing a good job of that already. I doubt that I'll ever have anything to complain about.
Either way, I'm always open to new suggestions for the club as well. So don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. She says that, but it's going to be a bit intimidating to try to criticize Monica of all people. I really don't think that there's going to be anything I'll need to speak up about either. One of the other girls would probably say something before I ever needed to. Natsuki definitely would. Our little firecracker there.
That's out of the way. Feel like sharing your poem with me?
I mean, I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I?
You shouldn't be thinking like that.
Yeah, I was just joking. Kinda.
It's alright, Flam. I get it. I get that it's probably really awkward for you to share creative work when you're just a beginner. Especially since the rest of us have a bit more experience than you do.
That's an understatement.
Don't worry, though. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? I don't think many people out there share their poetry on a regular basis. But it's the sort of thing that you'll get used to pretty quickly once you get it over with.
Yeah, that's true. I had my poem over with a sigh. Don't grade me too harshly. You're not my English teacher.
You'll be fine.
I watch nervously as she quickly scans through my poem.
Interesting poem, Flam. It has a very mellow yet emotional feel to it. I didn't know that you were this in tune with your feelings, Flam.
I can feel my cheeks growing hot at her teasing. Eh? You think?
No need to feel so embarrassed about this. Poetry is a very personal thing, so it's not surprising to see you putting your raw emotions down on paper. Actually, your poem reminds me of something Sayori would write.
Really? How so?
I mean, you and Sayori are really good friends, right? It shouldn't be too far-fetched for you two to write similarly.
Well, I guess you could say we used to be good friends at least. We kind of drifted apart over the years, so I guess it surprises me that we could still have things like this in common.
This club is the perfect opportunity to become closer again, then, don't you think?
I guess so.
Anyway, much like yours, Sayori's writing tends to have a gentle feel to it. She often uses words to quietly mentor through her imagination and to explore different emotions.
Oh, sorry, meander.
Most of the time, I find that she addresses happiness and sadness in equal amounts, creating a bittersweet tone.
Wow, that's kind of unexpected of her. Maybe she's changed more throughout the years than I thought.
I know, right? You know that someone's so happy when enjoying the pain of tragedy as well.
You know, sometimes you sound like Yuri when you talk about poetry.
Eh? Really?
Yeah, I guess you really like it, huh?
You could say that. It'd really make me happy if you could get into poetry as well.
No pressure, right?
For real though, feel free to explore different things and experiment. Maybe you'll find yourself writing in a way you never would have thought you would. Just like Sayori does.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll end up doing a lot of different things before I settle on my own style. So much wrong with just that one statement that I can make so many jokes out of. And it'll still take a while before I'm completely comfortable sharing my writing.
That's perfectly fine. In fact, I'd probably be more surprised if you immediately started writing with your own style. Most people go through the same process that you're going through right now. Trying new things is the best way to find the kind of style that suits you after all. Anyway, when you talk to everyone about it, naturally they'll be a bit biased towards their own kind of styles. After all, I know I am. But don't force yourself to write in some way just because someone else wants you to. You should try to focus on what you want to do. Feel free to ask me for help anytime though. I'll try to be as objective as possible when I talk to people about these topics.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Oh, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know.
Always on duty as president, eh? Well, let's get to reading then. The box. Ooh, okay. This poem's different. I see, but I don't believe. A long fingerprint, glistening on the gleaming glass. Was it me? Was I always the one in the dark? I pound on the glass. My prison. Why? Why me? The pain jolts me back. The understanding pouring down... the understanding pouring down like heavy rain. It's all a farce. It's all a farce. My heart's on display. My life's but a script just playing away. The world out there had seemed so bright. It was so free. So many choices, so much potential. Maybe I could have had a chance. I realize now that there was never a choice. I was stuck in this box. And they, on the other side, chose for me. Is this talking about her experiences in the original game?
So, what do you think?
I don't quite know how to say it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay.
I definitely get a certain kind of feeling from reading your poem, but I'm not sure how to put it into words.
I can understand that. Just try to articulate it however you want. You can use metaphors outside of poetry, you know.
Well, when you put it like that, I don't know. I say that your poem is kind of abstract. Very vague, at least. Like, I can't quite tell what exactly you're talking about, but even so, I can feel what the speaker is feeling.
Yeah, I think that describes my poem pretty well.
Eh? Really?
I do like my metaphors. Well, you'd probably be hard-pressed to find a poem without a metaphor, actually.
Yeah, they're pretty well covered in English class, at least. The ability
to convey emotions and concepts through words, describing things even the writer might never have experienced before. I find that really powerful. When you write metaphorically, it allows the reader to focus on the emotions in the poem.
I guess it kind of opens it up for the reader to have their own interpretations.
Exactly. It's fascinating when people can diverge from the creator's original intent to find their own meaning in the work of art.
Yeah. What was your original intent then?
think it'd be more fun if you tried to figure it out yourself.
Eh? That just makes me more curious now.
Maybe I'll tell you one day. But for now, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem, or anything for that matter, you get too fixated on a specific point. But if you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. So the best thing to do is just force yourself to get something down on paper, and then tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and write whatever's in your heart.
Easier said than done. I get what she's trying to say, though. It's better to look back on your work with fresh eyes after you've gotten something down sometimes.
That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening.
Alright. Yuri! You're next. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Is everything okay?
Oh, goodness. Sorry. I know what I want to convey, but I need to find the right words.
I understand. Take your time.
Okay. I think I know what I want to say. Do you have any prior writing experience?
To be honest, not really. Is it that obvious?
I don't mean to be rude, but I guess that it might be after reading through it.
Ah, so it's that bad.
No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. I can't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. Yuri seems to be incredibly introverted. It must take her a long time to warm up to new people. Don't worry about it. We all start somewhere, right? What were you saying?
Right. I've just noticed a few qualities consistent with newer writers that showed up in your poem. Perhaps what stands out the most is that you've tried very hard to make the structure of this poem your own. And that's okay, but if this is the first poem you've written, it might be prudent to consider more traditional structures. Couplets, sonnets, haiku, and the like. If you're not confident in your writing style, it'll show in your piece.
It's like Yuri is a totally different person once she gets going. She sounds incredibly confident and stands tall, speaking clearly.
Again, that's not your fault. I think that once you've studied poetic structures and techniques a bit more, you'll be able to put together a truly wonderful composition.
I appreciate the feedback, Yuri. It sounds like you're well versed in this sort of thing. Would it be okay if I took a look at what you've written?
Oh goodness, of course. Please let me know what you think. I'd be thrilled to explain my process.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Tumble. Hail falls down like discarded dust of overused emotions, dragging down blankets made of... What? Oh, okay. Dragging down blankets made of want. Slender string pierces my eyelids, barely painful, and pulls them shut. Even so heavy, ever so heavy, ever so heavy. I think I misplaced something. Is there a piece missing? You need all the pieces to fix something. Please don't look for it. There are more important things for you to do today. You guys get this? What the hell is she talking about?
I'm sorry if my writing is a bit illegible. Once my pen touches the page, I just want to get my thoughts down.
It's fine, Yuri. I was able to read it just fine. No, it wasn't. That was weird. I wasn't thinking that at all.
Are you sure? It seemed to take you a while to read it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't see cursive often, but it's really nice when I do. Your writing's actually quite pretty.
Is that so? I'm glad you think so.
It made your poem stand out even more as well. It's as though your handwriting fits your word choice, or vice versa.
It wasn't too short, was it? I'm used to writing longer pieces, but since this is the first time we're sharing, I thought it would be easier to share.
That makes sense. Do you mind telling me what it's about, though? I'm not sure I understand.
Sorry, I didn't mean to write something confusing.
It's not that. I just want to be sure I'm reading it properly.
I see. I suppose from a cursory glance, it might not be obvious. But part of what makes poetry magical is how you can conjure up a vivid image with your words. While on the surface it might seem a bit out there, if you look a little deeper, you might be able to find a deeper meaning hidden amongst the lines, compounded by the metaphors used. For example, the words and images in this poem aren't meant to be taken at face value. In actuality, it's supposed to represent the last remnants of something lost into the past, and the sense of plaintive longing that comes with it.
Huh. That's pretty impressive when you put it that way. Yuri, I still don't like you that much right now.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. But thanks for the compliment. Hopefully during your time here, your understanding of poetry will grow, and these things will come to you naturally.
I'll do my best. Thank you for sharing with me, Yuri.
Of course.
Alright. That's okay. Nats. Our poor little firecracker of innocence. Or to Natsuki.
What? Hey, don't make it seem like I'm spacing out. Just... Okay, let's start with what I don't like. First of all,
Natsuki rereads the poem again.
Actually, never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
Then what's the point in sharing at all? Don't literature clubs, like, share constructive criticism or something?
No, it's just...
Natsuki fails to come back with a follow-up. She's obviously uncomfortable about something. But from what I've seen, it's certainly not giving out criticism. Hey, this is my first time sharing my poems too. It's a bit uncomforting for all of us, yeah, but we should still try and help each other.
It's not that. I'd feel more comfortable if your poem was really bad. I could be like, not bad, but... Not that bad, but here's what the real... But here's what the work of a real poet looks like. But...
Oh. I understand what she means now. She's uncomfortable because she liked my poem and doesn't know how to compliment me. I get what you mean. Natsuki looks relieved at my statement. Can I see your poem now?
Ugh, fine. Only because Monika's gonna make me either way.
Sometimes. Sometimes, some folks are winners, some only lose, some are go-getters, some only cruise. Sometimes we try hard, and we give it our all. Sometimes we give up. What else can we do? It's another Natsuki work of art, everyone. I'm glad at least the poems are different. You know, they didn't just recycle the same old poems from before.
Told you you'd hate it.
Actually, I like it.
What? Don't just say it. Don't just say it's good because I'm a girl. Be honest.
What? No, it has nothing to do with you being a girl. I genuinely like the poem.
Really?
Yeah, it's simple, but still pretty effective.
Finally, someone who gets it. People in high school think poetry has to be so formal and vague, but they don't realize that simple writing is just as effective, if not more. The reader shouldn't have to search for meaning. That's just stupid.
Cat?
Besides, the simpler the writing, the more emphasis on wordplay. Like how I made most of the lines start with some.
Yeah, I noticed that. Made the last couplet seem more powerful.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going for.
Well, good job then.
Ha, didn't expect that from the youngest of the club, did ya?
Yep, guess not. Alright, now to the one that I wrote this poem for, Sayori.
Well, Flan? This is so good! Seriously, this is your first poem?
Huh? It's not that good. Jeez.
Seriously, it is! I love it! I had no idea you were such a good poet!
Sayori, you're overreacting a bit. It's really nothing special.
Trust me, it is. How did you write it?
Huh? What do you mean? Oh, I just took a whole bunch of words, threw them into a hat, shook the hat around a little bit, let a whole bunch of words come out, and just pieced them in order of how I picked them up.
Like, what did you think of while you wrote this?
Huh? This is gonna sound a bit weird, but I thought of you. She gives me a brief look of disbelief, a faint blush on her cheeks.
Me?
Yeah, hey, not in like a weird way or anything. I just thought of words that reminded me of you and went along with that. It just felt kind of natural doing it that way, I guess.
Well, if it works, it works. Looks like this club really is the best place for you.
As much as I like her praise, it's not exactly helpful. I'm no master of poetry, and I kind of need to know how to get better. Yuri's opinion was way more constructive than this. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Sayori. Good to know I'm not totally in over my head here. She looks at me for a moment, not saying anything. There's a few moments of an odd silence. Earth to Sayori. She jumps slightly.
Sorry. I'm just not used to seeing you around again, that's all. To have you in the club, writing poems, it's lovely though. Just takes a little getting used to.
Yeah, that's understandable. I'm a bit surprised myself, to be honest. But I'm enjoying it. But I'm enjoying it here so far.
That's good to hear. Do you want to read my poem now? I'm not very good though.
Only one way to find out. Of course, of all poems to recycle, they recycle this one. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
Well, what'd you think?
I hesitate as I answer. It's not that it was a bad poem. In fact, it was great. I'm just really inexperienced with poetry, especially feedback. It's really you.
What's that supposed to mean?
As in, the poem just really reminds me of you. It made me feel really good inside.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea what to expect, as this is my first time reading your poetry. But the way this was written, I don't know, it feels really wholesome and cheery. Like you are. I also really like that last line. Trust you of all people to include breakfast in their poems.
Hey, I was eating it when I wrote...
Sayori stopped speaking immediately, as if she has accidentally let something slip. Oh, so you wrote the poem this morning?
No? Well, maybe. I forgot to write it last night.
Well, at least you know where your inspiration comes from.
Eggs and toast.
Well, I suppose if it sounds silly but it works, then it isn't silly. Either way, thanks for showing me your poem, Sayori. It was really good.
I'm happy you think so. Anyways, next time I won't forget. Tomorrow's poem will be even better.
I'll hold you to that. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was surprisingly fun, albeit a bit stressful. I already knew that I wouldn't be able to write to the quality of the girls, but I tried my best. Everyone here is incredibly talented. Well, all the girls at least. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting again. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As I watch, Natsuki breezes through Yuri's poem, her eyes skipping over the words. Meanwhile, Yuri stares at the paper in her hands, smiling sadly. Natsuki quickly hands Yuri her poem back.
Here, I'm done. Already? Yeah, it's not like it was super hard to read. I'm not illiterate, you know.
Huh? It was hard for me to understand, at least.
I just want to make sure that you call all the figurative language I employed. Yeah, I did. It was fancy. Thanks. However, I believe that you'd enjoyed it more if you looked deeper into it. I enjoyed it plenty already. Anyway, are you finished with my poem then? Yes, yours is cute. Cute? Didn't you learn anything from our conversation yesterday?
Yuri looks shocked, regret seeping into her expression. Seems like both girls still hold their own prejudices, despite whatever common ground they have.
How can it be cute? You're standing there thinking that I haven't read your poem when it's really you who hasn't read my poem. It's clearly about the push and pull between giving up and trying hard. I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. Well, maybe you should look deeper into my poem. Because I use that type of language on purpose. I see. But if I may give a suggestion, these more involved subject matters may be better suited to more complex diction. The art of poetry is deeply intertwined with... Look, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand. Writing in this way doesn't make you look cool or smart, okay? It just makes you look super pretentious. If you write with a thesaurus open next to you, you're just going to alienate everyone. Using all these big words to make up for lack of depth. Poetry isn't about impressing people, so you can just stop.
Holy crap! I stare wide-eyed at Monica and Sayori, who have now also fallen silent. They stare back at me, looking unsure of what to do. I'm guessing that they don't usually have many arguments in the club. Although tensions between Natsuki and Yuri already seem kinda high.
Lack of depth? Yeah, that's right. So if I can give some suggestions now... Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I really must ask. What makes you believe that I'll accept your advice after you've been so rude to me? Huh? Rude? That was just blunt honesty. Do you ever consider that other people don't hold the same opinions as you? What are you trying to say? Do I really need to spell it out for you? Yeah, you do. I want to see if you're really going there. The irony. I dare you to say it.
Yuri gives a small laugh of disbelief.
I must thank you, Natsuki. I've never been this angry in my life. It's actually given me the courage to speak up. Is this why you're angry all the time? Guys, we shouldn't... This doesn't involve you! Sayori, please don't rob me of my moment. So, this is your moment to shine or something? Strange thing to take pride in, don't you think? No. It's my moment to finally speak my mind. Well, I still have the strength to. Yuri. Natsuki, have you ever realized how selfish you are?
Suddenly, Yuri seems to be overpowering everyone else in the room.
What? Everything always needs to go your way. You always jump to conclusions and make rash decisions without regard for the consequences. And it's never your fault, is it? You don't know me! No. You don't know me either. And yet, you spoke as if you knew everything about me. Quite simply, you don't. The very fact you don't... Stop it!
1 second, guys. My cat's really pissing me off right now. cat needs to get clawed. Fucking hurt.
The very fact you don't think that your blunt honesty was incredibly rude just goes to show how narrow-minded you truly are.
Seizing her moment, Yuri boldly carries on, disdain dripping from each word.
I know it must be a difficult concept for you to understand, but the whole world doesn't revolve around you and your manga. So tell me, why should I take advice from someone who can only see their own perspective? Everyone knows it. Monica, Sayori, even Flam. Don't you remember how hostile you were to Flam when he first joined us? I wasn't being hostile. We haven't had a new member in a long time. Sorry, not sorry for keeping on my toes. And that's how I talk to everyone, not just to Flam. Am I supposed to change my whole personality to cater to how you think I should be? If Flam has a problem with my jokes, he could tell me. You don't get to speak for him.
Yuri closes her eyes and shakes her head, carrying on as if she didn't hear the outburst.
Do you really expect a new member to be able to speak up so easily? Not everyone is as unafraid of being a brutish cretin as you. What? The rest of us were so excited to have a new member, but did that thought ever cross your mind? No, you just let your own selfish thoughts dictate your behavior. Selfish? They weren't You could have scared him off. That might have been what you wanted. But what about the rest of us? I just explained myself, for God's sake, but as per usual, you aren't listening. You know, for someone who's been ranting on about how narrow-minded I am, you're pretty intolerant yourself. There, I used a big word. Do I sound like Shakespeare yet? Am I worthy of your attention now?
Ouch. Both girls really have their claws out.
Also, Monica and Sayori didn't have any issues with me yesterday. It's just you. Of course they did, Natsuki. They just didn't say anything. Monica is too responsible, and Sayori's too kind. So why don't we ask Flam then, as the most unbiased spectator? Fine.
Unbiased?
Flam, who's right, me or Yuri?
That should be an easy one for me. Huh?
I'm not taking sides, is what I would say.
Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna be a choice or not, though. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? I don't even know what they want me to decide on at this point. Should I just ignore all the personal stuff and just talk about their poetry? That's what started the argument after all. But it's not like I'm a good judge of writing quality, given that I'm just a beginner. I don't think it would be fair for me to take either side, either, especially since I'm new here. Maybe I should just defer to one of the club's leaders. Oh, are you kidding me? It's giving me a choice to either deflect it to either Sayori or Monica. You know, this game's lucky. This game is lucky that it did that, because if they gave me the choice for between just Yuri and Natsuki, definitely siding with Nat, 100%. I'm kind of at a loss for this one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and save this, just in case Sayori can't calm things down. I hate being put on the spot like this. Both Yuri and Natsuki are looking at me. While their hostility isn't aimed at me, I still feel like I'm the target for the anger in their eyes. Guys, I gulp nervously as a bead of sweat trickles down my neck. I'm really not the best judge for this. After all, I'm new, so I'm painfully aware of how weak my voice sounds. Neither girl looks impressed.
Wow, real help you are. Natsuki. Let me guess. Blah, blah, blah. You're being so rude. You're a broken record, Yuri. Shut up. Ah, so you're finally realizing how insolent you are. You got there in the end. Well done. You are such a... Stop!
We're all stunned into silence. I never heard Sayori angry before, and even Natsuki looks taken aback. Immediately, the anger on Sayori's face is replaced by a flood of tears, the anger given way to sadness.
Guys, enough of this. Please. You're tearing apart this club. Please don't do this. I love this place so much, and you guys are both my friends. I hate when people fight. It's horrible. This place means so much to me, and I know it means a lot to you guys as well. So please, can we stop arguing over whose style is better? It doesn't even matter. You're both unique, and that's what counts.
Yuri and Natsuki are both looking incredibly ashamed of themselves. I guess neither of them expected that their argument would hurt Sayori so much. That once raging fire has been snuffed out, replaced with smoldering embers.
I really like your simple style, Natsuki. It's so nice to sit down and read a poem that springs to life. And I know the others do as well.
Monica and I nod in earnest, putting a small smile on Natsuki's face.
And Yuri, I'm amazed at how complex and deep your poems are. They're really in depth. But there's no need to argue over which style is better. You can't really compare them anyway. It depends on what mood you're in.
She's right, guys. Sometimes you're just in the mood for something simple. Sometimes you might want something a bit more complex. It's like music or movies. People like a variety of things. You can't really say that comedy as a genre is better than action, can you? Both types appeal to different things. You wouldn't watch an action movie for the laughs, would you? I look over to Sayori and give her a reassuring smile. She returns with a watery smile of her own, rubbing her tears away.
You said it, Flam.
She turns to face Yuri and Natsuki once more.
Now, you both said some stuff that was pretty mean. But I know neither of you meant it. Neither of you are narrow-minded. Although it would be nice if you could like each other's stuff a bit more. So could you try doing that a little? Please? For me? For the club?
I can't help but laugh as she puts on puppy dog eyes. I don't think she realizes it's the right time to use them.
Sure. Whatever. I'll try.
Yuri takes a deep breath, finally lifting her eyes off the floor.
You're right, Sayori. I'll also make more of an effort. And Natsuki? What?
Natsuki still looks quite defiant, as though expecting another insult from Yuri.
I apologize for what I said. Your style has its own merits.
Natsuki blinks, as though slapped in the face. She clearly wasn't expecting an apology.
Nah. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Your style is...
She diverts her eyes downwards once more.
I guess what I'm trying to say is you write pretty well. I shouldn't have said that stuff. Me neither.
There's an awkward silence.
That's much better, guys. Thank you for putting your differences aside. We all really appreciate it. I'll go make some tea.
She rushes off as Natsuki wanders over to the closet. I glance over at Monica. She hasn't said a word throughout the whole argument, which surprised me.
I should have been the one who said all of that.
Why didn't you then? I wince as the words leave my mouth. They sounded more accusatory than I would have liked.
Well, I know I'm the leader and I run this club, but I'm not the greatest with people.
I frown. If she isn't great with people, how can she run a club? She must have caught the confusion on my face as she hastened to explain.
Sorry. Let me rephrase that. I'm fine with people. It's just their drama that I can't really deal with.
Well, that's why you have Sayori, right?
Mm-hmm. She's an excellent vice president, able to deal with conflict much better than I can. Which is pretty embarrassing, at least for me. That should have been my duty to deal with, not hers.
I don't blame you. Seriously. It was pretty tough to get involved. I could barely speak up.
True, but that's exactly the sort of thing that a president should be able to deal with.
Yeah, come on, Monica. Don't see it like that. You and Sayori just have different strengths, that's all. I always thought of her as a little ditzy sometimes, but she definitely has a knack for social situations.
Definitely. I'm very grateful to have her as my vice president.
Well, the both of you do a really good job running this place. I know that's a bit of an early assessment. But you know, first impressions and all. She smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Ugh!
You're too kind, Flam. I'm glad Sayori brought you along to the club. I really do hope you stick around.
Don't worry, I will. Monica seems like such a genuine person, and she makes a great president, regardless of what she might think. Hopefully I'll be able to properly get to know her during the school year.
Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How'd you all feel about sharing your poetry?
I notice that she carefully avoids mentioning the argument that just occurred.
It was a lot of fun. Some moments were worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Flam, how about you?
I actually really enjoyed myself. It seems I do like expressing myself through poetry, a lot more than I initially thought. Everyone looks intently at me, the girls smiling at me. It was really cool getting to see everyone's different running styles.
That's awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow, and hopefully you learn something from us too. So your poems will turn out even better.
Yeah. I think to myself a bit as I begin to pack up. Today I managed to learn a little more about the kinds of poems that everyone likes. With any luck, I'll be able to learn more about the girls as individuals through their themes and messages. I nod to myself, turning to Sayori. Hey Sayori, ready to walk home?
Sure.
Alright, see you guys tomorrow then. As we leave the club room, Sayori turns back to wave to at the girls. I do the same. Natsuki smiles and quickly looks away to act like she doesn't care. Yuri awkwardly smiles and nods. And as expected from the school idol, Monica gives a friendly grin and waves back. Sayori, about what happened earlier.
Eh? What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. I remember you told me yesterday that they sometimes bicker, but are all their arguments normally that bad? I feel a little guilty as I ask her, as I know she doesn't like talking about conflict. There's a slight dip in the cheeriness of her voice as she replies.
No, not at all. They have their differences, but it's the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. They're both wonderful people, I promise. You don't hate them or anything, do you?
Oh, not at all. It's only normal for people to argue, I guess. I was just curious. After all, you know them better than I do. Sayori lets out a relieved sigh.
You know, Flam, it's been so nice seeing you again. I didn't really think we'd get to spend much time with one another again.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's been really fun hanging out again. I don't really know when we started drifting or why. Guess it was just life coming between us. She nods, looking a little reflective. Still, I'm glad you let me join your club. I'm not going to lie, at first I was a bit doubtful when you told me it was about literature. But hey, I guess it just goes to show that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. She giggles, and I frown. Did I say something funny?
That's pun. Did you even realize?
Huh? Pun? Oh, you mean about the book comment? Oh, and this is a literature club. Oh! Jeez, looks like the club's really starting to rub off on me, isn't it? Sayori might be known as a bit of an airhead, but sometimes she can really notice things that others don't. I wonder, what's it really like inside of her head? Careful, she might write that "Get Out of My Head" poem again.
You haven't changed at all, Flam. You always knew how to make me laugh.
I blush slightly. I've never really known how to react to that compliment, especially when it comes from someone of the opposite sex. I'm glad I'm still able to do that. I'll be honest though, I didn't think I'd make so many new friends by joining the club.
Well, they're a really nice bunch. Not surprised.
Yeah, pretty warm welcome. She nods contentedly. Anyway, let's see what the future holds. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
These girls are all interesting characters, aren't they? Different personalities and a variety of writing styles. Yet they're all united under the same club. I briefly wonder how Monica found all of them. In just 2 days, I feel like I've made progress with each member. Getting to know Yuri and Natsuki, actually getting to talk to Monica a little bit. And of course, reuniting with an old friend. I never would have guessed this would all come from joining the club, but hey, I'm not complaining. Let's just hope my writing improves over time so I can write poems to a standard more like theirs. Speaking of which, there's work to be done tonight. Let's do this. Alright. Oh. This is a cute little animation right here. Alright. Marriage. Vacation. Vanilla. Disarray. Up. Destiny. Shopping. Party. Together. Love. Sparkle. Cry. Dream. Really? That's a Yuri word? Family. Whistle. Strawberry. Fun. Kiss. Tears. Portrait. Okay. Alright, before we continue with this, I need to go get some water. My throat getting dry. You gonna stop clawing at my knee? Oh, I see what you want. Give me one more minute, guys. Alright. Probably have to edit that part out. Just a few days ago, I never would have thought that I'd look forward to an extracurricular so much. But here I am, back for another club meeting, and anticipating new antics from everybody. The usual scene awaits me as I step into the club room.
Hi, Flam.
Hey, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today.
I'm just still not used to...
Is that so? Well, let's see you so cheery. Anyway, what's new?
Oh, I've got some exciting news.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you know that the student store sells that brand new strawberry milk now? I saw when I passed by on my way here.
Ah, I should know better than to expect actual news from Sayori. Huh? I don't think I've tried that yet. I don't know. Strawberry milk is usually too sweet for me.
What? But it goes great with melon bread.
What the hell is melon bread? Babe? Have you ever had melon bread? Sayori, you could eat a packet of raw sugar and you'd still say it's not sweet enough.
Hey, that's an exaggeration. Seriously though, it goes really well with bread. The milk is sweet, but it still has a unique tart strawberry flavor that's eased by the richness of the milk. And when you pair it with fresh bread, the sweetness is spread out even more, so that it has just the right amount of flavor.
Wow, when did you become Gordon Ramsay?
I'm a food expert, so you should trust me on this.
I mean, given how many snacks you eat every day, I don't doubt that you know your food well.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment, you meanie.
So I'm a meanie for giving her a compliment.
Anyway, aren't you hungry now? Talking about food always makes me hungry.
Now that you mention it, maybe a little.
Great, let's go to the student store and buy snacks together then.
Ah, now I see what she's playing at. I raise an eyebrow and Sayori notices.
Flam, why are you looking at me like that?
Well, Sayori, I have a nagging suspicion that you're only trying to convince me to come because you don't have any money. And you just want me to buy you a snack.
What? I would never do that.
Oh, really? Well, let's see your purse.
Huh?
Your purse. Let's see it. Sayori laughs awkwardly as she pulls out her purse. She opens with it and dumps its contents onto the desk. 2 small coins fall out. Tisk, tisk, tisk. This little ruse might have actually worked had Sayori not pulled it on me numerous times when we were younger. The amount of times she managed to trick me into buying her another ice cream, I guess some things never change. Nice try, Sayori.
No fair. How did you know?
Aha. Now wouldn't you like to know? Let's just call it intuition. In response, she sticks her tongue at me. Typical. Yuri suddenly giggles.
Yeah?
I didn't know she was eavesdropping. Looking over in her direction, I catch her peeking over the top of her book.
I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri! Tell Flam to let me borrow some money! That's none of my business, Sayori.
And yet you were more than willing to drag me into yours and Natsuki's business yesterday.
Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. It's shameful to manipulate people into doing or buying things for you.
Wow, isn't that a little harsh? I'm only messing around with Sayori after all.
Did I just... I didn't mean that. That came out much harsher than I intended. Sorry. I just, well,
Yuri blushes in embarrassment, looking away from us while playing with a strand of her hair.
I apologize for how I've been acting lately.
It looks like she still might be a bit ashamed of how she acted yesterday.
You know, it's okay to be honest sometimes. You shouldn't always keep things that bother you to yourself. There's no way you can think that after... You were right, though. I shouldn't trick people into buying me things.
Funny how your 10-year-old self didn't see it that way. Yuri lets out a small laugh, covering her mouth with her hand. Even the way she laughs is so shy and proper.
Is this mischievous behavior something Yuri used to display as a child then?
Oh yeah. Although back then I fell for it time and time again. You won't believe how much candy Sayori managed to con me out of.
Don't make me out to be so sneaky, Flam. Although, those candies were so good. I'm surprised, Sayori. Coming from you, I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? What's going on here?
Oh, nothing much. Sayori here was just up to some mischief.
Oh?
Yeah, she tried to trick me into buying her a snack.
Hey, that's not true.
Monica smiles rarely and turns to me.
I'm assuming this isn't the first time.
Well, you'd be right. We all share a little chuckle at that. Well, everyone except Sayori does.
Hey, you guys are being really mean.
Okay, we're sorry. But you did bring this upon yourself.
Yeah, I know. But in my defense, I am really hungry. Well,
Natsuki chimes in.
if you're really that hungry, you can have this if you want.
She offers up a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori immediately snatches it out of her hands.
Thank you.
Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite.
So good. Oof.
Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth.
I bit my tongue. Ha! You're going through a lot over just one cookie.
Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie.
Yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy you shared this one with me.
Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki and then wraps her arms around her.
Jeez. I get it.
Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie.
Hey! Did you seriously just do that?
Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri, Monica, and I laugh as well.
Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori to quit taking my stuff? Sayori, you know you shouldn't do something like that without permission.
Monica scolds Sayori.
I know. I'm sorry, Natsuki, but it was so good. Hey!
Everyone but Natsuki chuckles. These things happen a lot, Monica?
A little bit too much, to be honest. Don't worry, it's all in good fun. Good fun is teasing each other from time to time, not stealing food. Oh, calm down. It's no big deal.
Natsuki pouts in her seat, and then quickly returns to their normal activities. Sayori has already managed to finish the entire cookie. Meanwhile, Natsuki gets up and heads for the closet, and Yuri is already lost in her book.
Flam!
She suddenly comes up to me.
I need to get some stuff from another classroom. Can you come with me?
Stuff? What stuff?
Well, you know how the festival's right around the corner? Monica was going to make some posters to advertise it. So, we'll need to get some crayons and markers and glue sticks. That kind of stuff.
Ah, right. Yeah, I'll come with you.
Yay! We'll be back real soon, Monica. You seem quite excited about this, Sayori. Of course! It's so much fun exploring empty classrooms. Isn't that right, Flam?
Monica laughs and nods at us.
Okay, just don't forget the poster paper. I won't. Ready, Flam?
Uh-huh. Let's go. Sayori and I exit the club room. I follow behind as she hums and skips around the hallway. Honestly, it feels like I'm taking a kid to the mall or something. Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things sometimes. Everything is like an adventure to her. Hey Sayori, what exactly are you doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of literature.
Monica and I have it all planned out. Don't you worry.
Is that so?
Yep. We're gonna do a poetry performance.
A performance? Of what kind?
Well, everyone's gonna take turns on the stage and recite their favorite poems.
That sounds, well, not exactly boring, but will people be that interested?
Flam, you're not thinking about it the right way at all. It's not just about reading poems. It's about performing them. Like you say the lines of the poem like, between my feet, the last remaining flower beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots. Caressing the final joyous moments between my fingers. But to what ends have I summoned this joy? For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland. Like that!
I gotta admit, guys, bravo. Wow, Sayori. I had no idea you had that in you.
Huh? What do you mean?
I just never heard you talk like that before.
No.
No, it's not a bad thing. It was really good. It was just a big contrast from your bubbly self. I'm sure Yuri and Monica would really appreciate it too.
I've been working super hard on that poem, so it's good to know you liked it. I'm excited for the festival.
Not just because we'll get to eat loads of stuff, like Natsuki said.
Hey, meanie. No, not just because of that. Although, that is part of it. Hey, Flam, this classroom here is empty. I think we'll find what we need in here. Let's start our mission. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Strange choice of words for someone going into a classroom to get art supplies. But hey, that's Sayori in a nutshell. Living in her own little world. Her childlike enthusiasm is infectious and brings about a special feeling I forgot I had in me. Some kind of innocent sense of wonder, where even the most mundane of tasks are quests, and walking down the classroom is a magical journey. The two of us enter the classroom. Sayori heads straight to the closet, and I follow.
Let's see what we have in here. Crayons!
Sayori pulls a box full of crayons off the shelf.
They're the best brand, too. They're kind of dirty, though.
Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box, reading the color names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted, we still need to find...
Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color.
Fine. Can you move over so I can look for the post paper?
I dropped one by accident.
The hell happened there?
Yeah!
Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf. She falls to the floor and the crayons spill all over her lap.
Ow, 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 ow.
Sayori, are you okay?
My forehead.
Sayori clutches her forehead. What happened? Did you cut it? Is it bruised or...
No, nothing like that. I think I just bumped it.
Gee, Sayori, you really had me worried for a second there. I can't help but let out a chuckle. This is such a typical thing to happen to Sayori. It's almost like she got clumsy written across her forehead. Which, fittingly enough, is where she's hurt herself.
Hey, what are you laughing at, you meanie?
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you or anything, it's just... This is so typical of you.
What's that meant to mean?
Nothing. Let me see your forehead. Since Sayori is sitting on the floor, I grab her by the waist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hands, Sayori.
But it hurts.
I'll be gentle. I promise I won't hurt. Sayori slowly releases her hand from her forehead. I gently brush her bangs to the side.
Ow.
Sorry. There's a huge red mark on the center of her forehead. A bump is starting to form as well. Don't worry. It's not that bad.
But it really hurts.
Her whimpering triggers a really strong protective instinct I didn't know I had. Hey, I'll get you some ice. It'll keep the swelling down and it should relieve a bit of the pain. Just stay here, okay? I'll be back as soon as I can. Actually, where would I find some ice? Think, Flam, think. I got it. A cold drink should do the trick.
Are you sure? You don't have to. I think I make a great unicorn.
Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. I'm sure you make a great unicorn, but I think I prefer you as a human.
Oh, unicorns are so cool, though.
Anyway, I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
I pat Sayori on the shoulder and run into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? I guess it doesn't really matter because she won't be drinking it. But I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchased that one. In just a moment, I'm already returned to the classroom where I left Sayori. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop crayons back into the box.
At least you were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them.
Here you go. I hand Sayori the bottle of apple juice. It's nice and cold.
It's nice and cold.
Sayori opens the cap and starts drinking from it. Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead, you idiot.
Sorry, I forgot.
How hard did you hit your head? Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her head. Immediately, her laughter subsides, replaced by a gasp of pain.
It stinks.
I know. I'm sorry. It'll feel better soon, though. I promise. Looks like you cleaned up most of the crayons, so that's good.
Hey, Flam. This kind of reminds me of growing up. Doesn't it?
Huh? What do you mean?
You know how we used to play outside all the time? I'd always try to keep up with you. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Like I usually fell behind or had trouble climbing on things you did. But sometimes when I tried to do things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself or get a bump, and I would start crying really hard. And you would rush over as quick as you could. You would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blamed yourself and were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Even though it really wasn't your fault at all, you know?
I remember those days. You were always so clumsy. And I guess not much has changed.
Hey, I did this deliberately, you know?
I raise an eyebrow.
I always wanted to be a unicorn.
That has to be perhaps the least believable excuse I've heard in a while.
Okay. I guess I've never really been on the graceful side.
I did always feel bad whenever you got hurt when we played together. Looking back, I should have been more mindful of what you could and couldn't do. I guess it's the same here. If I hadn't rushed you out of the closet, you probably wouldn't have hurt yourself. My mother was right. She'd scold me after you got hurt, always telling me that I had to be more careful around you.
Yeah, don't feel bad about it. It's my own fault for being so clumsy. Besides, even if I got hurt, those times are still my favorite memories of us. It also made me realize how thoughtful you are.
Huh? I was thoughtful? I wasn't thoughtful at all. I just got you hurt.
No, that's not what I mean. You're always looking out for me.
What? Did I just make a thumbnail?
Even after all these years, you always rush to help me. No matter what the situation, you're always there to reassure me and make me feel safe.
I don't really do this kind of thing all the time. It's just around you. It feels natural, I guess. I just do it subconsciously. Before I know it, I'm treating you like that. Guess it's what happens when you've been friends for so long.
I don't know if I told you this before, but I'm really grateful we're friends, Flam. I'll admit, I kinda missed you over the years. We used to hang out a lot. I was surprised when you approached me the other day. I wasn't really sure what to make of it all at first. But as we got to hang out in the club, share poems, and walk home, I realized that nothing had really changed. Do you think we'll be like this forever, Flam?
As much as I want to say yes, there's no telling how life will be for us during college or even afterwards. Still, I can be positive though. I sure hope so, Sayori. It's been this long already, right? I can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. We haven't really talked in years, then when we do, it's just like nothing's really changed. I think I read somewhere that that's a sign of a friendship that's built to last. So here's hoping.
I hope so too. I'm so happy.
Sayori has a whimsical expression in her eyes. We remain silent for a moment. Who'd have guessed that such a simple action to get some crayons would have resulted in such a heartfelt moment, right? Then again, with Sayori, it's impossible to tell.
Anyway, I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monica, you know.
Good luck with that. She's gonna see her forehead either way.
Not if I hide it under my bangs.
Sayori hops to her feet. She clutches her forehead again. Sayori? Don't stand up so fast after hurting yourself.
Sorry.
Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori out of the classroom. Sayori plays with her bangs to try to hide the bump, but without much success. In a moment, we make it back to the clubroom.
You're back. Good timing. I was about ready to start with sharing our poems. Eh? Sayori, your forehead. I was playing with the crayons that smacked my forehead into the shelf. Are you okay, Sayori? Yeah, I'm fine. Fran got me a nice cold drink. Right, okay. Glad you're okay, Sayori. Did you get everything we needed? Uh-huh. I have it right.
Sayori frantically glances around herself.
I forgot all the stuff!
Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. I found the poster paper, too.
Sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Flam.
Well, Sayori. I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori.
I made it an adventure.
Yeah, that.
Okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Thanks, you two. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems?
Guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box was closed tightly, I returned to my seat. One of my... I'm not liking this, guys. I'm not liking this, because... So far, it's pretty much the same stuff, the same exact thing, and it's just it's looking more and more like it's gonna end with another Sayori suicide. I don't want that from this. You know, the first time I was a little bit indifferent about it because, you know, when it came to Sayori, you know, we already had the friendship, we already had the bonding and all that, so not much was. It's hard for me to put this in words. Not much had to be built around her character. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time with her, and instead focused more on Natsuki. But with this one, now that I'm intentionally trying to build an arc with Sayori, I feel like this crash and burn is going to be a lot harder on me than it was the first time it happened. I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. God, this is... I'm already starting to tear up from it, but I guess we'll see what happens. I will say this much about it, though. It has my interest. I am interested in seeing what happens. So I will leave it there for now. Did I already say that? Yeah, I said that. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now and pick this up again maybe tomorrow. But like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Have a good night.